Okay guys, Ethan here. Let's talk a little bit about how my base is going so far. So if we take a look at our temperature, we're doing alright throughout the base. We're averaging about 25 to 26 degrees throughout, and I have most of my base sealed off from the exterior elements. So we're doing pretty good in that regard. We have a little bit of heat generation coming from my rock crusher and my electric grill, and then my coal generators are getting quite hot, but that's also insulated. The main thing that I'm worried about heading into mid-game is keeping my bristle blossoms cool enough that they'll grow. Bristle blossoms will only grow up to 30 degrees Celsius, and then after it becomes quite a bit of a problem if I don't have another source of food. So that's why I'm working on my hatch ranch right now. I got one ranch completely set up, and I'm working on filling up the other ranch as well, so I'll have a supply of barbecue and coal heading into the mid-game. Also right here, I got really lucky early on and got some shumble eggs from the printing pod. Those are almost done incubating, so I'll eventually have to set up a metal box or a container here where I can breed them, and they'll basically provide me with infinite barbecue well into the late game. So that's going to be really nice when I get that set up. I have a little bit of a egg drowning system here. It's not quite done yet. Still working on that. I might get rid of that and move it at some point, but I don't even have enough eggs yet to be drowning all of my hatches, so I'm not quite worried about that. In the top right corner, I have my Draco Ranch, and I finally got a glossy Draco egg, which will be really useful for breeding glossy Dracos and having a source of plastic in the mid-game. I don't really want to dig all the way down just yet for oil to get plastic, but I might have to do that pretty soon if I don't get any more eggs. I've delayed putting up my Atmos suits for some reason. I can't remember why, but I don't have any configured yet, and that's really slowed down my progress throughout the rest of the base. As you can see, I haven't really dug too much on the outside yet. I have managed to dig all the way up to the surface, which has been very valuable in getting rid of the CO2 that's accumulated at the bottom. So I have this pump, which will only turn on when there's CO2 present near it, and then I have this filter right above it that only allows CO2 to get through to the surface. So when this oxygen goes into the filter turns on and allows the oxygen to be vented out into the base rather than into the surface. So yeah, that's working just fine. I'll eventually create a better system that doesn't waste so much power, but for now it's fine for my mid-game. Whenever I start a new game, I like to identify some locations where I can set up my barracks right next to a potential nature reserve. So if you have 4 wild plants in a relatively small area, you can box it off, put 2 signs, and you'll have a nature reserve, which gives a really good boost. Where's the boost here? It gives a +6 morale boost to any dupes who walk through it. So if you set your barracks up in a way like this, where your dupes always have to go in and out of the nature reserve to get to the barracks, then they'll always get that +6 boost. So that's really nice. Helps leveling your dupes up. I did find a gold volcano right here, which is really close to my base. I started to box it off, and I'm going to dig this out pretty soon so I can let the gold accumulate, and then during the mid-game phase I'll eventually set up an aqua tuner and an automated system to get the gold out and to self-cool it down here, but that's going to take a lot of steel and I just don't have the resources right now to be working on that. But in the meantime, I can let the gold accumulate Yeah. And yeah, I think that's it, guys. I will check back in with you in another 10 to 20 cycles and see where we're at. So my immediate plans are, once I get back to playing, is make a place or a box for these shovel eggs to hatch so they don't go all over the place. If I just let them hatch the way they are, they just become a pain. They go everywhere around the map and I have to wrangle them back. So what you have to do is make a box of metal tiles somewhere here, and then they will not be able to leave, and you can wrench them and farm them for infinite barbecue. So that's going to be my priority right now. As you can see, they're almost hatched, so I put that off for quite some time. And probably start working on Atmos suits, because I can't make good progress around the map unless I'm able to protect my dupes. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you next time.